Hi everyone, this is a tutorial to support you in working the Chapel House cowl that you can see here. The reason I'm making this tutorial is because there are a couple of places in the cabling where the cables actually cross over where the beginning of the round is. And so I've made a couple of little adjustments in the chart and the written instructions to make sure that there's no obvious jog in the round of the cowl. And this tutorial is just to support you in those stitches, just so that you're really happy with what's going on there. Here you can see this is my beginning of round, my cast on tail. So this part here is your beginning of round, and as you can see there's no obvious kind of jog in the pattern or any kind of weird bits going on in the cabling where you've moved from one round to the next. So in the chart I'm going to show you first of all how to work this section here. So here, for example, you're working cable 2 backs and then purl 4, cable 2 backs, and you continue repeating that pattern until you get to the last 6 stitches of the round. When you get to the last 6 stitches, you'll see that you're working a cable 2 back, purling 3, and then you're working a cable that actually crosses over the beginning of round marker. I'm going to show you how to do that now. So to start with, you will slip the final stitch of the round from your left needle to your right needle, and you'll remove the marker while you're working the cable. You'll be putting the marker back in the same place in a moment. Slip that last stitch of the round back to your left needle, and then you're going to work this cable 2 back as you normally would. Now I personally slip the stitch and let that other one drop off the needle, but if you use a cable needle, this one would be slipped to a cable needle at this point. However you work your cable, that's fine. So I'm going to just work my cable 2 back like that. Then, now that the stitches are in their new positions, I'm going to work them as the pattern directs, which is a knit 1. But then before I work the second stitch of the cable, I'm putting my marker back in the correct place in between those 2 stitches. Then I can work my purl 1. Okay, so then you continue working the pattern. You'll see on the chart and in the written instructions, the first stitch of that next round is omitted because you've already worked it on that previous cable, so there is no stitch there. Okay, there's another occasion where the cable pattern changes slightly to accommodate the jog in the round, and it's first seen in cable pattern chart 1, end of row 2, beginning of row 3. Here you can see you've got this cable that overlaps the edge of the chart, showing that you're working it with the first stitch of round 3 and the last stitch of round 2. I'm just going to show you how to work that. So I'm reaching the end of chart round 2 right now, and I'm working a cable 2 back, which is this one right here. I'm going to work the stitches as knit 1, purl 1, and then the very last 2 stitches of chart round 2 are also cabled here. Cable 2 front, where I'm going to purl 1 and then knit 1. Those are the last 2 stitches of chart round 2. Then just work those stitches. Then, as I mentioned already, at the very start of chart round 3, it shows you that you're actually going to cable the last stitch of chart round 2 and the first stitch of chart round 3. So you're actually going to cable this final stitch again. And I'll show you how to do that now. So to start with, you'll need to remove your marker while you work this cable. Pass the last stitch of the round to the left needle, and then you're going to cable these 2 stitches. It's a cable 2 front, and you're going to purl the first stitch and then knit the second stitch. So I've returned that last stitch of the round to my left needle. Obviously my yarn is attached to that stitch, so you will find a little stretch out. It's a bit it's not very stable because you've just worked that stitch. But don't worry about that, it's not a problem. So I'm going to work my cable 2 front. Obviously if you use a cable needle for that stitch, that's fine as well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to work the first stitch of the cable, which is a purl 1, and then before I work the second stitch, I'm going to put my marker back in place. If you find that this stitch has stretched out a little bit, it's no problem, just pull on your yarn and it will tighten up. Work the second stitch of the cable as a knit 1, and then you're ready to continue round 3 as the chart indicates.